Hey everybody, it's me Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Adventure 2020 episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 42, King of Inventors, Gerbemon. Well, I'm sorry for the lateness of this. Had some things going on over the weekend. Really tried to get this out last night, but I was just too tired. I'm trying to get this to you as quickly and as early as possible. I just saw the episode. I will definitely tell you how I feel about it at the end because this is a pretty interesting one. So if you remember last time we had Yamato and Takaru, they went off looking for food on a side adventure and meeting up with, if I remember correct, it was Opasamon, Waru, Manzemon, and they met up with what was the little tiny Digimon they were with, the little cutie pie ones. They met up with them too, and they helped save all of them before they became nothing. Oh yeah, it was just several baby Digimon. Labramon's little form Xiaomon, but yeah, so this is what's going on. While they were looking for food, we have Koshiro and not Yamato, but Koshiro and Taichi. They're going out scouting, and as they do, they come around. Agumon is very excited about scouting. Tennomon's kind of the straight man when it's the two of them because Agumon is like, let's do it. Tennomon's like, hey, let's just chill out. And as they do, they come around this I want to say massive, but it's not massive. It's an entire area of garbage. And when I mean garbage, it's just things that, just like before when it was the refrigerator coming from the sky, it is various things from the human world that more or less are garbage. And around this garbage mound are these little tiny cuties. This is Choromon. Choromon, just a little baby Digimon. It's actually first baby one form Digimon. It showed up in Digimon Tamers season 3, where it was possessed by the motorcycle behemoth before Beelzebumon took behemoth. Pretty little cute Digimon. It also showed up in Digimon Savers. A clump of them had to be saved. So this is more of a natural habitat for this Digimon. So these little cuties run about. Their eyes kind of glow and they beep. So that's kind of like, how do I express? I don't want to say it's like a baby cooing, but it's kind of like, flash flash noise. They kind of skitter about. Um, when we get to when we get over the hill, we are now introduced to Gerbemon. Gerbemon. Now you're probably saying, why is this guy called Gerbemon? It's technically Garbagemon. That's what we call him in English. This guy was shown in the first season of Digimon Adventure. More or less, it was a bunch of them. They were more or less troops firing this bazooka here. But this guy, actually, I'll give you a little bit more backstory on this Digimon. It was actually believed that mutant Digimon were pretty weak and couldn't fully evolve. He, on the other hand, proves the opposite of that. Unlike Scoomon, which is the yellow poop Digimon that has the mouse with him, uh, he's he's not discarded scum data. It's an ultimate level Digimon, and the crazy part is this guy speaks. He speaks just straight up language, uh, and most Digimon that are mutants they throw poop. Nanimon, Scoomon, uh, Raremon to a point. Raremon has more attacks, but the little I don't want to call them the jokey ones, but the ones that seem weak like Nanimon, Scoomon, they definitely throw poops and whatnot. And around Gerbemon, we see this cute little fella. That's the mouse I was telling you about that hangs out with Scoomon. This is Tyumon. Now in English we call him Chumon, which makes sense because of the character. The character used to spell Tyumon is actually the Chi, and you have to put a little smaller letter for the U, but they can be pronounced Tyumon, but it's Tyumon here, but it's Chumon in English. I don't really care which one we use because he, first of all, and the first time we saw this was Digimon Adventure first one. And unfortunately, when Dark Master showed up, they killed Scoomon. He was by himself. This little guy is a rookie level Digimon. And in Digimon Adventure 2020, it doesn't speak. It just makes little choo choo. It makes little noises, which makes it adorable. Because when its mouth is not open like this, it's a cute thing. It's a concept that I was actually talking about this weekend. It's kind of it's so ugly that it's cute. But this guy is really cute in this episode. It's really helpful. Apparently, the backstory of it normally it gets caught by carnivore system trap, which is something set up by the it's a real thing set up by the CIA and FBI to catch people trying to hack and infiltrate things like that. And typically they were saved by Scoomon, so they kind of have a symbiotic relationship. But this little guy is helping Gerbemon. They're putting together this big contraption, and at first I thought I was wrong, but I was correct. They made a giant ice bullet that cracked. It glowed and cracked, and it wasn't fully prepared. The thing did not work properly. Pardon me. And I just, first of all, I got to tell you, seeing a Tyumon be adorable like this and being helpful, loved it. But I digress. Uh, so they were, as they were doing this, our gang kind of come up to them, and Koshiro is enraptured by the fact that he is taking garbage or trash and putting things together. And he gives them he gives kind of like a small lecture saying everything's about perspective. One man's trash is another man's treasure. It's just how you see things that can alter your way of thinking and alter how things are useful. Because they go around, they say, this is a bunch of trash and this is garbage, but we get small jokes in between where even Gerbemon says, "Yeah, that stuff over there is junk." So, just checking my notes here. So, Gerbemon is talking. Gerbemon's actually a scientist? He's saying that uh, for a while, nothing but black lightning was pouring all over this land. Then all of a sudden, something it just stopped, and then garbage, treasures. He calls some of them treasures, but refrigerators, freezers, just all sorts of garbage start falling from the sky. And Koshiro says it's kind of like a reverse of what was going on with the Black Lightning at first. At first, the Black Lightning would affect the human world. Like if the data was kind of merged or transferred, blow up something there, it'll blow up something equivalent in the human world. Well, now it's a thing where it's sucking in data and just the garbage is coming out. Well, something really, really bad is going on because as they're talking about the study and the discovery of a lot of this stuff, suddenly Raremon appears. If this guy looks familiar, he really should. He was in season 1 of Digimon. Actually, he showed up when they get back to the human world. So he was kind of causing some mischief and mayhem there. It's just a little champion level Digimon. Tyumon is a rookie. Gerbemon is ultimate. But this guy, he is just a champion level Digimon. But as Gerbemon's little machine tries to fight it off with trash can lids, it just absorbs it. This thing it eats it was eating cars while they were around, and they were able to, I guess, more or less defend it because we got Agumon and Tentomon both Digivolve, and they were able to, get it to run off. Excuse me. And the crazy thing is that I'm gonna try to be more precise with my language. The area they're in is all garbage, right? Raremon is massive. Massive. This is massive. This is Raremon. Remember, this is champion. This is Greymon. Greymon's pretty big, but Raremon is bigger than Greymon and Tentomon, which is pretty. I find it pretty interesting that a lot of these wild Digimon they're either the same size as our guys or they're super big. I really do like the sizing in Digimon Adventure 2020. But yeah, they're using their attacks, traveling them back, and he finally, Raremon finally leaves, and you know, Koshiro has his Digivice, and Gerbemon gets interested in it. He wants to dismantle and look through. He actually wants to dismantle and look through Koshiro's tablet because Koshiro was scanning. They also got scans of Raremon and the Digimon that they're with. But he's like, no, you're not No, we can't dismantle the Digivice or the tablet. So they follow Gerbemon to his, trash hideout. It's it's more of he calls it a laboratory, but it kind of is a laboratory. It's a nice little concave building. Kind of reminds me of like a wizard in a wizard's tower, if you guys are into fantasy. And actually, let me get rid of this picture. And it's pretty cool because around them there's nothing. There's a bunch of mugs, like 4 levels of mugs. He's drinking tea. He's saying the tea's not garbage. They're drinking tea. Little Tyumon, he's drinking tea from his mug as well, from his little cubby. And they go on to explain what was going on with the Black Lightning, the fact that it's from Millennium Mon, it affects the real world, it makes other Digimon digivolve, and Gerbemon goes on to explain, okay, we really cannot let Raremon get hit by Black Lightning, because if it does, that's going to be really, really, really bad. Makes sense, right? Well, well, Koshiro makes an astute observation. He says, "Hey, what's up with all the mugs?" And Gerbemon goes on to say, "Well, I had a lot of Tyumon actually helping me. They were very great assistants. They were basically friends. But once they ran into Raremon would Raremon basically killed them, basically ate them, right? Anything that goes into him gets absorbed. I don't know if you guys, Raremon's actually based. If he looks like Muck to you, the Pokemon, yeah, more or less the same thing, except much more, even more deadly if you think about it, which is kind of scary. And he's also based off of Hidura, the smog monster from the Kaiju series. Godzilla fought Hidura, beat his butt. So just a little background. And he's very tearful. Gabrielmon's very tearful when talking about the fact that his two Mons assistants all gave their life. And he's like, I'm not going to let their sacrifice be in vain for our scientific endeavors. And it was really nice juxtaposition on this shot because we're in this, we're looking from above, so we see the little cubbies, and you see the one Tyumon where he's sitting in his cup. You see all the others, and then they vanish, and he's still right there. It's really, really great perspective. I really enjoyed that. Um, so while he's saying, but I got a thing, I'm gonna get revenge for them, and he shows them the bazooka. You saw the bazooka in here, right? Well, it was not this one; it was an all blue one, and he calls it the Absolute Zero Bazooka. What it's gonna do is it's gonna freeze Raremon with a shot, and I was right before. I was right that that giant bullet was an ice bullet. So what the all their endeavors, him and Tyumon, they've been working hard just to do this. And Koshiro again is in complete awe. He's saying he's made all this with garbage. It goes beyond recycling. He is repurposed and literally made something from nothing. Calls it pure genius, which it is. I do like this Koshiro focus episode again. It's very, very nice. So after a little break, we now have Kabuterimon. He is flying with carrying the giant ice machine with Gerbemon, Tyumon, and of course Koshiro is on his head. Greymon is pulling pulling a cart of trash behind him, and Ties is kind of like, why am I pulling this? Which I love the fact that they fight as one. It's almost kind of like a Pokemon relationship, almost where it's like they talk to the tamers, and then the tamers go, "Hey, buddy, let's do this thing," and they're like, "Man, let's do it." So Ty's Digimon, Greymon pulling it. It's not just a burden for Greymon; it's a burden on him. Even though Greymon's easily pulling this stuff, right? So, um, they come up, and now there's rumbling from underneath the land of garbage, the garbage mounds, because there were 4 very massive garbage cans around. I guess they're kind of like landmarkers, very reminiscent of what the one that Gerbemon was in. But Gerbemon's hideaway lab was not like a garbage can. I can tell you that. And Raremon appears from the bottom. He's eating everything. Uh, Gerbemon tells Tyumon put it on max power because they hooked up the bazooka. He turns his garbage can not from sitting up but going backwards, and he tells Koshiro, "Hey, worst come to worst, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave Tyumon to you. Take care of him," and he just rushes off. And even Kabuterimon was like, "Wait, he's doing this by himself." And we get the little cute. Hold on, I have some tissue right here. Yeah, Tyumon, he's kind of waving the white tissue. When people say goodbye. He point blank fires the Absolute Zero Bazooka. Fires the little. They made the little ice bullet. It was glowing. Koshiro was wondering if it was still ready, but it was because it froze him. Funny thing is, Gerbemon and his encyclopedia that I just showed you said that he's connected to the trash can. He is the trash can essentially. And if you get sucked up in that trash can, it reduces everything in the digital world to nothing. It's just nothingness. Dude got knocked out of his trash can. He has tiny little legs because he has these big arms, big old Popeye arms. He has tiny little legs. This is a first in Digimon, so I thank you for that. Thank you for letting us see that not only is he one with the trash can, but he also has little tiny legs. So Raremon, because Raremon was moving closer and closer to a black lightning spot, because actually when he was digging underneath, he was unleashing some of the black lightning that was packed underneath. They froze him. They're good. Everything's fine, right? No, he was too close to a pocket of black lightning, and Raremon digivolved. I gotta I gotta be honest with you. I didn't really see this coming. I didn't see this evolution coming. Because this is Raremon. Looks like a pile of crap, doesn't it? A really cool pile of crap with a bunch of mouths. This is Akira to the max. So I gotta man, I'm gonna interject my recap to say I really like how even if they're not from the Pendulum Z's, the new digital pet devices they came out, I like the fact that they're giving a lot of these older Digimon their own specialized evolutions. I'm sure other things can turn into Raremon, but I like the fact that Golemon has a form that goes to Diamond. This guy has a form that becomes even more trash. Uh, what's his name? The Orochimon turns into Nidhoggmon. That stuff is really really cool. I hope they keep that up. I really really hope they keep that up. So as they're moving forward, Kabuterimon digivolves into Alter Kabuterimon, which I think they might be trying to say Ultra Kabuterimon. I had to listen to how they pronounce it in Japanese, but Ultra Kabuterimon, red. He does the Hornbuster. Hornbuster doesn't really affect him. He's using his mini arms to jab into him, and oil is spraying off of Raremon onto Tyumon, Gerbemon, and Koshiro. Koshiro was like, "Oh, it's oil," and Gerbemon said, "Yeah, that thing before he evolved, he enjoyed eating tons of oil." And Koshiro thinks back to, "Oh, he did like eat cars and things." And early on, when they were going through Gerbemon's garbage, they found some old ramen, and they found this thing called kamate poi poi, which is you put it into soups and ramen, and it's supposed to mix and absorb the oil, and you take it out of the soup. I need to look it up some more. This is my first time hearing about this myself, but it hardens up the oil. You take it out, and you can enjoy an oilless meal. I also think it also works with things like they do use oil hardeners when dealing with petroleum and things of that nature. So I think it's kind of the same thing. So Koshiro thinks back to that Kamite. He contacts Taichi on his Digivice because Taichi could see the evolution from as far out as he was, and he moves in. He says, "Yeah, I'm still got this thing of trash." And we did get a joke of Koshiro saying, "Don't you need what Taichi has?" And he's like, "No, it's garbage." Well, turns out this garbage was very useful because Koshiro's formulating the plan. While he says, "I'm gonna need your help with Metal Greymon because while while also Kabuterimon was dealing with Raremon, Greymon threw a freaking truck, like an oil truck, at this thing." And then Digivolved in the middle Greymon. A quick sequence. They didn't have long drawn out sequence in this one. And Koshiro comes up with the plan. So the plan is that their flying Digimon gets Raremon's attention above, just trying to attack them, while Taichi's going around throwing the poi poi inside of him. He says to Gerbemon, "I'm gonna show you that your design was not garbage." And I gotta say, Raremon is absolutely huge, massive, massive Raremon, huge Raremon. The thing is just damn near gigantic. And one of the things I did miss that's an important part of this is while they were on their way to deal with Raremon, Koshiro was thinking about he's like revenge. It's not good, but there's a pain that can only be understood by the people who the individuals that are left behind, whether it's people or Digimon, those who are left and dealing with their loss, that's just a pain that they can deal with. And that, Kabuto's might have to snap him out of it. And that is, I think that's a glimpse into Koshiro's backstory. I think in this universe, Koshiro's parents might have died and then he got adopted. He might actually know he's adopted because he was given hints about that when they were in the real world trying to get back to the digital world. But I digress. They're dealing with Raremon. Koshiro is fitting up the holes. Tyumon is helping him. Is helping him put the holes and everything together. And Gerbemon's kind of like, "Oh, Tyumon, you're helping." He's like, "But that's garbage." And he's like, "No, I'm going to show you how great this could be." So the new plan, after Taichi has a basket just throwing the stuff in there, after he's done with that, Alter Kabuterimon has to grab the thing and get him to spin. The spinning is to get the poi poi to mix within the oil body because his entire body is made of oil. Now the plan is to get Metal Greymon to fire a Gigastorm to heat his oil body up, and they were kind of apprehensive. Metal Greymon was apprehensive, but I might hurt Alter Kabuterimon. He's like, trust Koshiro, just do it. As soon as he said that, the song kicked in, Be the Winner. That's when you know stuff is popping off. Be the Winner kicks on. He fires the Gigastorm. Alter Kabuterimon is taking the heat as he's spinning this Digimon and making his body heat up with all this oil and mixing whatnot. Now we have Altair Metal Greymon, Altair mode, Altarius mode. There we go. He's gonna hook up the bazooka onto his railgun along with the machine so it can get a supercharge and be able to freeze him. And he was all while he was hooking all this up, he was telling Gerbemon, "You just got to change your perspective. And when you change your perspective, things will become clear. You taught me that." And he's like, "Oh," it's kind of like, "Man, I taught you that." Gathers up full power. I thought the railgun was gonna be fired. No, it's just charging up its power so you can fire the bazooka. And the bazooka is more of a beam. Also, Kabuterimon move out the way. They're firing the bazooka. It's starting to crack at 100% power and it explodes. The machine explodes, but they succeeded. Raremon is now completely frozen. So at first I thought he died because you see a little bit of digital data coming off of him as he's frozen. So he might be frozen and dead, but he's in place. He's not going anywhere. Tyumon hugs him after they succeeded. We get a nice little freeze frame of that. As everybody is congratulating Koshiro, because now they're in their rookie forms, they're congratulating him, saying, "Good job." We get a very funny, cute interaction when Tendomon was like, "Man, things were heating up," and Agumon's like, "I'm really sorry about that." He's like, "No, I'm actually blaming Koshiro." We get a nice laugh. Uh, Koshiro takes Gerbemon by the hand and says, "Now you can do your pursuits of science, but give up on revenge. You had your revenge, no more revenge." And he says, "You know what? I can do that. I will just dedicate myself to the science now, and I won't use my science for revenge anymore now that we've dealt with this issue and now that we've actually gotten revenge." All of this, all of a sudden, Tyumon jumps up and he digivolves into this guy. He digivolves into Searchmon. Now you're saying to yourself, that looks like the digi symbol of knowledge. It's because it is. Originally, Searchmon is an armor / adult level Digimon that digivolves from Wormmon using the Digimental or Digi-Egg of knowledge. And this time, it came from Tyumon. And it has a kind of a metallic, buggy sound to it. The top of it spins, and it was spinning Gerbemon. He's like, "Wait a minute, so Koshiro inspired you to, want to do more pursuits of knowledge? Because now they're just going to go search this garbage land and figure out more clues about what's going on." Now he's able to do that instead of just being a little tiny helper. Now he is the bigger, because he's a bigger bug now. Not as big as Kabuterimon, but he's bigger. And he can do that. And I find it fascinating that Digimon can be inspired to evolve. And when they do, I guess this is kind of how the armor evolution works in this series now. If you become inspired, you can take on a form that is the epitome of that type of emotion, like knowledge or love, etc., etc. So they're gonna go off. Happy episode. I enjoyed it. Our encyclopedia, of course, is Nanimon. Nanimon is also known as Oyaji, which means old man in Japanese, or uncle in Japanese. One of his attack is Poop Attack, and Coach was like, "Do not get hit by that. I don't want to get hit by that." He tells a little macho joke, which technically only works in Japanese, so he told a dad joke. Next episode, we're gonna get Volcamon versus Edamon, and I lost my crap when I saw Edamon because by now, if this was the original series, he would have showed up 30 episodes ago fighting Metal Greymon and fighting everybody. So I look forward to seeing how two Ultimate Digimon fighting is going to affect the crew now. Edamon is a fan favorite. I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed him especially in English because they gave him an Elvis voice. So I look forward to seeing how he's going to act in this episode because they're both trying to fight over who's going to be the king of the Digimon. And yeah, that was our episode. Uh, I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed these character focused episodes, especially when there's not just Taichi and Yamato. This is pretty darn good. I I gotta give this a four. It's a four. I'm so close to giving it a five because it was that good. You know what? Forget it. I'll give it a four. It's between a 4.5. I give it a 4.5. I usually don't like doing it, but I'll give it a 4.5. It was really good. It gave us another little glimpse into Koshiro's backstory. There has to be a season 2 of this. And I've kind of noticed that we don't get a lot of the parents in this. In the original Digimon Adventure, the first one, even the second one, the parents were around and we kind of understood why the kids were the way they were. They were trying to get their parents to understand them, and Sora succeeded and many of the others succeeded. A lot of their parents were very encouraging about their world saving exploits. A lot of them had to convince them of what was going on, and we don't have a lot of that. We don't have a lot of that in here, which I find very interesting. It does add more. It doesn't take away anything. It does add that you get to see more, newer Digimon or more interactions with Digimon, which that's the whole point, right? So I look forward to, after we're done with our 66 episodes, I look forward to a part two showing the goings ons in the real world because we got to go to a real world, right? So yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of the episode down below. I greatly enjoyed this. This is again, if someone wants to know what Digimon's about, I'd show them that. Again, thank you for showing up. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get notified of more videos like this. These go up every Sunday. As long as this show is out, I will do this every Sunday. And when it stops, I might do retrospectives. I don't know, but yes, please share the video so others can see what a great time you're having here and what great knowledge of Digimon that you're getting. I mean, come on, I'm a Digi guy. So, as always, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Black Lives Matter. Be good to yourself and be good to others. And I will definitely see you next time.